Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, 17th of September. Hope you're well wherever you're tuning in from. Excuse the glare outside. It is a little bit sunny, but welcome along to Wealth Coffee Chats. If you are regular, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And if it's the first time that you've attended Wealth Coffee Chats and you don't know who is coming to you live, my name's Charleston, representing the Property Management Group, part of our 6-star team. Super pumped to be here this morning and share some content. Hopefully you guys will playful out with me, some banter, questions, all things good in the chat, and we'll have pretty informative session over the next 5-10 minutes, which is amazing. So that's who I am, 14 years in the property management industry. I've certainly seen a thing or two. And what we do at about 10 past 8 on a Wednesday in particular is share some insights, some stories, certainly, problem solve together of all the fun and funky things that property management provides, because I tell you what, holding a property is certainly a challenge. It's inevitable that you're going to have challenges, but certainly you could have some really good team around you, some strategies and some things in place to help you along the way. So that's what we do here on a Wednesday for sure. And today's topic is what you, the landlord, in my opinion anyway, what you need to know when the agent says we won't charge marketing. As I said, 14 years in the industry, guys, I've heard this statement countless times. I have said no to business countless times over this one particular item. And I thought today, I'm just going to share the uncomfortable truth of what goes on in the background and why this may or may not be important, depending on your perspective on this topic. Give you guys 1, 2, 3 pointers to think about next time your property's up for lease. So that's today. So what I'd love to hear from you guys, anyone tuning in live today, is if you've got a property, or maybe you've been interviewing a property manager recently, or in the recent times, and they've said, "Hey, listen, don't worry about it. We'll cover marketing. Listen, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay anything. It's all good," right? If you've heard that before, pop that in the chat for me, because that's what we're going to talk about today. So Jeff's on. G'day, mate. Hope you're well. Where are you tuning in from today, Jeff? Hopefully somewhere exotic in that respect. I'm just trying to fix the sun here, team. I don't know if I'm going to do any good with it, but you'll see. So welcome along, Jeff. Thanks for being here, mate. And all's well. So as I said, what landlords need to know when the agent says, "Hey, listen, we won't charge marketing," right? Because listen, team, it sounds great on the surface, right? Sounds amazing on the surface. But here's the uncomfortable truth. What I really hear after 14 years when property managers, agencies in general say to landlords that, hey, don't worry about the marketing. What I really hear is that they've got actually no intention, right? Zero intention to establish, create, and execute a serious leasing campaign for you, the landlord, right? And I don't hear saving a couple $100. I hear actually it's costing you thousands. In over 14 years, I've seen it countless times when there's zero investment up front from the landlord and or the property manager, poor leasing campaign is executed. How do I know? Generally, we're the ones that come in and try and fix it at the end. But I always encourage everyone, you can jump on realestate.com, you pick the suburb of your choice, and I'll tell you what, you'll find good campaigns and you'll find not so good campaigns. And if you don't know what a good campaign looks like, that's okay, because what most people will understand, they'll definitely know what a bad campaign looks like, right? So what I really hear is that zero marketing, no marketing fees, all this sort of stuff, I hear that's going to cost thousands, not save you hundreds. So that's number one. Because what happens in the event your property throughout your leasing campaign just blends in with the other listings on realestate.com, and depending where your property is located, you could have 6 properties in competition with you. You could have 60 properties with you in competition at the same time. And so depending on, demand at that time in place, certainly this can have a significant impact on obviously minimizing vacancy, which, traditionally and more importantly is one of the key things we want to solve here in that space. So again, with zero investment, what does that actually mean? What does that look like when there is zero marketing investment put up front, regardless of it's the landlord or the agent, right? That campaign is going to look like not having professional photos, not going to have any significant floor plans to give people a visual representation of your property. No virtual tours. Now, I've said this a lot. If you don't already know, without a virtual tour on your rental campaign, it's about 95. They say 95%. People are less likely to inquire. So the virtual tours since COVID has rapidly, exposed people's properties and listing campaigns to the marketplace, reducing that friction, getting more inquiries. So not having virtual tour, obviously, and then depending on, again, zero investment. If you guys don't already know, when we talk about major portal listing sites, so realestate.com, Domain, all those subsidiary sites, there's actually levels of where your listing is placed. So it could be a premier listing, could be a standard listing. There's actually a significant difference. So you might have noticed if you jump on realestate.com, you'll see a really big advertisement on page 1, right? That's a premier listing. And then you might go to page 3, if there is a page 3, depending on how much supply is in the marketplace, and you'll see a really small ad. That's a standard listing. And so traditionally and statistically, data shows us that, if you have a standard listing, which is obviously a cheaper investment, you're going to have less exposure on those major portals, which is going to result in less inquiries, less people booking inspections and turning up. And therefore, it's just creating a vacancy risk for you as the client. So what I want you guys to think about is when you go to your leasing campaign and you're building out a marketing strategy and you hear, hey, don't worry about the fees. We don't charge that. We don't do this. Dig deeper. Because it's not going to save you a couple $100. It's actually, in fact, going to create risk on your part in regards to vacancy, which costs you thousands. So have a look at that. So free marketing is not free. Let me tell you, hidden cost is loss of rent. Full stop. I've seen it over 14 years and certainly want to share that with you guys. So have a think about this. Here's another angle. If the marketing campaign is weak, right? We don't have any of those things we just spoken about. We've got terrible photos, no virtual tour, et cetera, et cetera. The marketing is weak. We are not likely to attract the best quality tenants in that marketplace at that time. In fact, we're actually just going to attract the first people that want to view it. But here's the angle. The best quality tenants that are out there, they're actually the most choosy, right? The best quality tenants out there, they will scroll. Right? They will scroll. They will look at all listings. They will assess. They will have a look at what's good, what's bad, and they will base decisions, right, based on listing descriptions and how much information you and your agent have actually given in the marketplace. I talk about reducing friction all the time because that's the key ingredient to actually increasing inquiry, getting more people through the door. I always talk about the advertisement online, guys. The job of your advertisement is to get traffic through the door. That is it, right? Traffic through the door. And if we lease it sight unseen, even better, right? But it's about traffic through the door. So the best quality tenants, they're often choosy. And if you don't stand out in the campaign, they're not likely to book an inspection, right? And so we're going to get a less of a tenant pool to actually work with and choose from, which again, vacancy risk, you're not maximizing, your rents, things like that, right? They're significant. So, the tenants out there, the best tenants out there who value, they value quality living, they value natural light, they value open floor plans. If we're not providing this information to them, we're not going to attract those best quality tenants, right? So at the end of the day, are the best tenants more likely to be attracted to bad quality dark photos, or are they attracted to the bright photos that promote the property and the features and all the things that comes with it, right? So have a look at that. Why do agencies do this, right? Why do agencies say, don't worry, we don't charge marketing fees, it's all good? Very simple form, team. It's to win business. It's a sales pitch. Let's call it for what it is, right? But think about this. If the agency isn't charging, if the agency hasn't built out a campaign to help you invest in your marketing campaign, why? To reduce and minimize vacancy, maximize your rent, right? Attract the best quality tenants. If the agency isn't willing or able to show you what that strategic campaign looks like, are they really invested in your success? Right? Are they really invested in your success? Because ultimately, again, it's about reducing and minimizing that vacancy risk. So you got to think about that, right? Because when the agencies are not tied to the outcome, what actually is produced in the marketplace is a bare minimum leasing campaign, right? Bare minimum leasing campaign. What does that look like? All the things we just spoke about, right? We spoke about price, presentation, promotion, no photos, no virtual tour, standard listing versus premiere, less exposure, less of a tenant pool to choose from. At the end of the day, increasing your risk in your vacancy. And you know what? Look, over 14 years, some clients, some people have decided to go down that path, and that's okay, right? Our job is to just share the information, provide another perspective on what's out there, what the best strategies that we've found landlords have executed over the years. And, like I say, when they're not tied to the outcome, you're going to get a bare minimum campaign. You're going to put yourself in vacancy risk. And that means, in reality, what that actually looks like is finding the first person available, even if it means cutting the true cost of your rent. Because they are now tied to the outcome in terms of they're trying to get their money back. Because I tell you what, it's not for free with realestate.com, that's for sure. There's certainly an invoice coming through, team. So it is not free. The agency will pay for it. And the hidden cost for you as a landlord is increased risk in vacancy and a loss of rent. So ultimately, team, please use the tools and strategies that are out there in the marketplace. Everyone's got access to it. Dig deeper into your leasing campaign. Get your property managers to help you understand what that campaign looks like to minimize your vacancy. Because for me, I'd rather spend $400 today, right? I'd rather spend the $400 today than risk out missing $2,000 in loss of rent and shortfall of rent because I didn't maximize it through the campaign. So like I say, it's not about saving a couple $100. It's actually trying to avoid that situation where you're out thousands. And that's what it's all about here at Wealth Coffee Chats. For our property management edition, we're trying to find every last dollar and make sure your net income each year on year increases. So is free marketing actually free, right? Or is it the most expensive choice that you make? I believe it's the latter because of all the reasons outlined today in the Wealth Coffee Chats. But listen, if you're after some review, I suppose, in regards to what that all looks like, of course, if you've got any topics you want us to share on Wealth Coffee Chats, email below. Certainly happy to help you guys out, give you another perspective on what it might look like in the background. Because yes, the next time someone says, "Don't worry, we don't charge marketing fees," pause, team. Pause for a moment and have a think about, are they really invested in your outcome? Because it's certainly, I've got many case studies over the years that will show us otherwise. So yes, thanks for playing for that, team. I'm right on time today, which is awesome. So hope everyone has a great Wednesday. Any questions, like I say, any topic agendas you would like me to cover, any problems that we want to solve together as a team, please pop that in the chat. And certainly we will work through that together. But otherwise, don't forget, 8:10 tomorrow, financial planning team will be back, collective team, and I'm sure they'll have a thing or two to share and we can learn together. So that's it for me. Over and out. Catch you guys later. Happy Wednesday.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.